Laura Bates from the Himmelfarb Health Sciences Library. And she'll be talking about durable links and avoiding broken. Okay, thank you. So in a nutshell, several of the library systems are changing this summer. I'm going to show you which ones. And they're going to the new systems will relaunch in July and August. And we have a little bit of a period where, you know, we're still working on things in the background and moving some things over gradually. Okay. But some of the systems will change. Most of your durable links in your courses will keep working. So if you've linked to content in Clinical Key or on journal websites, on most of our book platforms, those are going to continue working. You don't really need to make any changes. But there are a couple of the systems where people may have created links where you will need to update them. So I want to show you sort of what those links look like. And then at the same time, and we're trying to make this be sort of a carrot, and then I think it ended up, for some people, being like, whoa, a confusing thing. We're offering what we're calling permanent linking, which means like you'll create the link now, and then when we make the change to our system, we'll handle the cutover. So your link will work now with the permanent linking, and then we'll cut it over to the appropriate system when we make that change. So I want to show you what those look like and how you can make them if you're interested. Okay, so the three systems that are changing, the main system that's changing is what we call Health Information at Himmelfarb, which is sort of the one search tool on the library's homepage. And it's becoming and the other systems that are changing there's also a separate library catalog, and then our e-journals and e-book lists, which also run our full text at Himmelfarb buttons. All those systems are becoming one single system, which you don't necessarily need to know, but those will all be combined into sort of an integrated system. So you can find things, you can link to full text, you can do it all within one system. We will have a new OneSearch tool right on our library homepage, and are in the process of not creating it, but fine-tuning it, and it will look much like it does now, have the same sort of functionality. You can find journals, you can find books, you can find materials within the library's collection, you can link to full text. In terms of the links that are changing, there you go. Takes a firm press to get to the next slide on this computer. So, and I should have put these in a different order, but 1 and 3. 1, this is linked directly into our catalog. I haven't ever seen that many people create these, so I'm not that worried about them. So number 3, these are links to our e-journals or e-books page, and people, again, don't usually link that way, but if you do, they will need to be updated. The one in the middle here, this really long link, are the ones I'm concerned about. And these are the links into that OneSearch, the Health Information at Himmelfarb system. That system has a really nice creative permalinks feature, and so many people did. And those are the ones that are changing. You have a couple options for updating these links. One, you can just go straight to the publisher. So if that journal is on, New England Journal website or Ovid website or Clinical Key or wherever you're getting that content, you can link directly to that underlying source. I will show you a little trick for some of these links in a minute. Or you can create a permanent link, and let me show you what those look like. So what the permanent links is, this is our way of sort of making the links impervious to this and future changes to our system. So what they rely on is a unique identifier for either a PubMed article, and unfortunately it's only PubMed, and we realize people link to lots of stuff that's beyond PubMed, but this particular solution is PubMed at this time. An ISBN, so it's an International Standard Book Number. I feel like I'm getting very librarian-y now. Or an ISSN, which will link you directly to a journal. But you can combine these into these sort of standard phrases. So for a PMID, just himmelfarbgwu.edu/PMID/the number, and that will automatically hook you out into our linking system. See if I can get this to go. So it links you into the full text. It's displaying oddly today. But then you'll be able to click on the full text link and go straight to the article. So that's the idea, is that right now it points to our current system, and then when we make the shift this summer, we'll shift it to our new system. But your link through the PMID will continue to work. Does that make sense? What questions do you all have about this?
How do we find that PMID?
Oh, okay, great question. So I'm going to start on the library's webpage. I'm sorry, I can't see the top part of the screen. There we go.
You can find it working.
So I always like, I guess you don't necessarily need to go through it, but I always link to PubMed through the library homepage, and then you can get our content. For any article in PubMed, the PMID is listed right here. It stands for PubMed Identifier, so it's just the unique number for that. The numbers, so this one says we actually says we don't have it, but we should, so let's try it. But you should simply be able to, make sure, himmelfarb.gwu.edu/PMID, and then the number. Keeping in mind, I've chosen this article at random.
Okay, yay. Okay.
And there it is. This page, I'm not sure why the usual header bar isn't coming through. I don't know if that's an issue with our system or this computer.
It might be an older version of IE.
Okay. So this should look prettier. Let's see if I pull up. Yeah, so this is how it should appear, and the functionality should be exactly what we just looked at. Does that make sense? Let me show you an example. Example for the ISBN. Thinking of an example.
I can give you one. Clinical Biochemistry, an illustrated guide, something like that. Close enough. The second one. Oh, that one.
This one.
Yes.
So Clinical Biochemistry and illustrated color text. Not to correct you. But so the ISBN will be right down here in the record. So here, and this will work with either. There's these longer ISBNs or the shorter 10-digit ones. It should work with either one. But again, I should just be able to do himmelfarb.gwu.edu/ISBN, because it's a book number, and paste the number. And it will, right now it's routing me right back to where I was, because it's taking me to the catalog, and then we'll direct that to our new OneSearch system this summer. So for all of these, you do land here, and then you click, the link to go straight into the full text item.
Could I get a more direct link by doing it from here?
Yeah, you sure could, just by taking this link. The other way to do durable links, which people do all the time, is just to take the, in this case, we can use the native link here. This will go directly. I'm going to open a Notepad page. So this link will go directly, and what we need to do is add a proxy prefix to the beginning to make sure it still works from off campus. On the library's website, we have a durable linking guide. And this will tell you all the information I've given you this morning. But it has this nice tool at the bottom where I can paste that clinical key link, create it, and it adds the proxy prefix for me, and then I can test it. And I'm sure you guys are pros at this, to always test the link to make sure.
I was going to say, because you can't always take the URL from the browser window, right?
You can't, and that's one of the other things. Yeah. For many of the journal websites, you can now, but for more database-like systems like Ovid and EBSCO, you can't just take the browser link. It has all sorts of session data and things that make it work this morning on this computer, et cetera, and it won't work later or on another computer. And for those, but most of those systems have something built in to help you. And I'm going to go back here and I'll show CINAHL is an EBSCO database and is a good example. So, biochemistry. So for this, anything that we have full text, for this, here's an article in full text. And if I look over here, there's a permalink, and so it will give me a fully formatted
With the
link.
proxy, yeah.
Yeah, and it has the, the page noted, it has, I'm sorry, I started talking softly again. It has the proxy right at the front, and then a link that will keep working through time and through the months and hopefully years. I promised you a little workaround. Do you guys, does the links that I mentioned, do you have folks done a lot of this kind of links through the one search system? Okay, I'm going to show you a little workaround.
We've encouraged people to.
This works for some of these. So I'm just going to pull up my notepad again and paste it in. And really, I'm going to wrap it and make it bigger. Okay, so a little bit bigger. Really, the part of this that doesn't work is this phrase right here. So this is getting librarian-y, but it's a nice shortcut. So this EDF Live, this is the system that's going away, EDF Live. So if I just take that and replace it with EBSCO host, because we do have the full text most likely, I can just paste that in, and it will work. It's not for everything. If it's an ebook, it's probably not going to help you. You still want to go back and create the link anew, but for a lot of links, that is a workaround. And again, to repeat, I just replaced, for the site data, replaced the eHost or EDF Live with EBSCO host. What other questions can I try to answer?
Can you talk a little bit about non-PubMed journal articles?
Sure. So non-PubMed journal articles, you're probably going to want to just go straight to the publisher. And so this linking guide has a lot of information on that. And for many of them, you can just, like if it's on a Highwire site or Clinical Key, any number of the journal publishers, you really can just take the displayed URL and add the proxy prefix, and it's going to work fine. And I have to say, as you do this more, you get familiar with, oh yeah, that looks good to repeat. The ones we do have a reference list in this linking guide that tells you. So for example, for ABI Inform, it tells you, scroll down and look for the document URL. So there'll be a URL that you can grab from the article and add the proxy prefix, and it gives you an example. Academic Search Premier is one of those EBSCO ones, so you look for the permalink. And the other one that people hit a lot are the Ovid journals, and it's called Jumpstart. So durable link, permalink, Jumpstart, these are all synonyms for a link that will last over time. But for most of the other ones here, you can see you're just copying the link location from the browser window and adding that proxy prefix. It's only a few EBSCO, Ovid, ProQuest that you need to do something a little different to get the permanent link. Does that make sense? What other questions? So I will say, while we can't update all your courses for you, which we would love to do, we are more than happy to help you. If you hit something that you're like, what, this just looks weird, I'm not getting a good link, I'm not sure, please, you can email it, chat it, whatever to us, and we'll send you back the right, the durable link and fix it for you. So we're happy to help with any ones that are odd or problematic, or if you run into an issue on them. We just can't systematically do it at this point.
Can we pull up a page in Blackboard and show the little trick that you showed me on WebEx of just hovering over to look at the...
Sure.
Cool.
So for this, what I do is, so for this, I'm going to hover over the link, and it's very hard to see, but in the bottom corner, you just mouse over, and it'll tell you the URL. It's way down here, and this tells me YouTube. YouTube's fine. YouTube, YouTube. And then here's one that is one, and I can see that it's an EBSCO one, so I'm going to copy it and just show it to you guys so we can look at it more. So here, this is the situation. Do as I say, not as I do. This one needs to be updated, because if we look, we see eHost, site equals eHost live. So that's okay. It's not EDF live. So this one is actually okay. But you can kind of pick out the ones that you need to update.
Yeah, this is how I pictured, I think, for most of our courses, if we open the pages of readings and kind of hover over to look, it's basically looking for the EDF live, right, is really the bad thing we want to...
Yeah, EDF live, look for EDF live.
So that's kind of a shortcut to review your readings. I mean, ideally everyone should test all their links every semester to make sure they work and go where you want them to go regardless. But this is a quick way to look for ones that will definitely be broken.
Yeah, that's a fast way to determine what you've got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good.
And just so you have some idea of the timing of this, because I know you're smack in summer courses right now, there would be no, all of the existing links, even the links to EDF Live, are going to work through the end of July.
Okay.
And those, so, so, I mean, I know I tested, looked at links for another program, and I looked at their links for weeks that happened after July 1st, and, found a couple links that needed to be updated, but like is not, your courses are good through the summer. If you have ones that run into August, you may need to do some updates, and then for the fall semester, you want to be sure and check carefully.
Could you show us how you would change it in this?
Sure.
Yeah.
This is a live course, so let's go. Let's choose a different course. So for this, I'm going to click on it. This actually, the links still work. Okay. Yeah, for this is, I'm not on, I think this link was okay to start with because it wasn't on EDF Live, but let's say I just want to start from scratch on this. This is the book title, Healthcare Information System. I'd come back to the library and put it, I could either put it through here for one search or put it through the library catalog. So here is that book. I would then just take this URL, which is a good one, I know. I'm going to copy it, go back into Blackboard. Sorry, I've got to, sorry. Turn the edit mode on. I'm going to go in and update the reading. I'll click on the one I want to change, so I've clicked in there, and I'm going to click on the paperclip to update the link, and then I'll just paste my new link in, and I'm going to double check that I'm having it open in a new window.
Yeah, while you're doing links, please always make sure they open in a new window. Blackboard's really ugly when it doesn't.
Yeah.
And then, as always, text. So that's it. The links you pull from the catalog should be good. I could also, I should have done that on the catalog. On the catalog, I could have also chosen to link that using that new permanent linking. So I could pull the ISBN for it, and then do himmelfarb.uw.edu/ISBN with the book, and do that, and it will route me back here and pull up the link.
including those of you on WebEx. If you have questions, please feel free. Everyone's very quiet.
Looks clear.
Doable. Maybe not the funnest project of your summer. Great, well, I'll hang out for a few minutes. Thanks for having me over today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Laura.
Thank you.